The Executive Order 13,603, it sounds like a boring piece of paperwork you'd find in a dusty filing cabinet, but is actually the permission slip the government wrote for itself to legally steal everything you own. The moment the lights go out, most people think a collapse means total anarchy, a free-for-all where the strongest survive. That is a fantasy. A collapse is not anarchy. A collapse is bureaucracy with a gun. While you were debating which caliber is best, for home defense the government was finalizing the logistics of how to seize your food, your truck, and your body without ever breaking a single law. The scary part isn't that they are coming for your bunker. They aren't. They don't care about your 50 pounds of rice and your wind-up radio. The scary part is that they don't need to come to your house to take your resources. They can take them before they ever reach you. We are going to break down exactly what gets confiscated first, the specific laws that make it legal, and why your private property is just a lease that expires the second a state of emergency is declared. Let's start with the lifeblood of the modern world, fuel. You think the gas stations running dry is a supply problem? It is not. It is a prioritization problem. Under the National Defense Resources Preparedness Order, the Secretary of Energy has the authority to reallocate energy resources instantly the moment a crisis hits, whether it's a grid-down scenario, war, or a biological event. The civilian fuel supply chain is severed. It's not that the gas is gone, it's that your credit card no longer works at the pump because the pump has been digitally designated for essential use only. They don't need to siphon gas out of your tank. That's inefficient. They just turn off the tap at the distribution center. All those tanker trucks you see on the highway, they get rerouted. The automated systems that control pipeline flow get new coordinates. You will be sitting in a 3-mile line at a Shell station staring at a pump that has power, but won't dispense a drop because that fuel is already legally owned by the National Guard unit. Your car isn't a getaway vehicle anymore. It is a 2-ton metal sculpture on your driveway. But let's say you have fuel stored, jerry cans in the garage, good for you. Now you need to worry about the road itself. In a declared emergency, transportation infrastructure becomes federal property. We saw this during Hurricane Katrina and the COVID lockdowns on a small scale, but in a full collapse. It goes total. Executive Order 1363 allows the government to control all forms of civil transportation. That means they can legally seize your vehicle if it is deemed necessary for national defense. But again, they probably won't take your Ford F-150, they will take the road. Checkpoints aren't just for catching bad guys, they are filters for resources. If you try to leave a containment zone with a trailer full of supplies, you are technically transporting strategic resources through a restricted area. Confiscation is as simple as a soldier waving you over and saying, "We need this trailer for the relief effort, keep walking," and the math is on their side. You have one gun, they have an armored personnel carrier, and the legal authority of the United States government. You aren't a survivor in that moment, you are a logistics bottleneck. Now let's talk about food. This is where the myths get people killed. You imagine a SWAT team kicking down your door to take your pantry. That won't happen. It's too risky for them and a waste of manpower. Instead, they will starve you out by seizing the source. The government has the power to seize all food resources. At the farm and processing level, they can nationalize the fertilizer, the water rights, and the farm equipment. The grocery stores will be emptied not by looters, but by the government itself. In a high-level crisis, major distribution hubs, the Walmarts, the Costcos, are instantly designated as FEMA distribution points. That sounds helpful, right? Wrong. It means the inventory is no longer for sale, it is for rationing. You don't go in and buy what you need, you stand in line for 6 hours to receive a bag of rice. If you are gray man and off the grid, you don't eat. The seizure happens at the loading dock, miles away from your house. They cut the supply chain and then they wait for you to get hungry enough to walk into their camps. Let's move to something most preppers completely ignore: skilled labor. This is the most terrifying part of the executive orders. The government claims the right to conscript persons of outstanding experience and ability. That means if you are a doctor, a nurse, a mechanic, or an engineer, you are a strategic asset. In a collapse, your skills are more valuable than your stockpile. They don't just take your stuff, they take you. If you are registered with a medical license, you are on a list. When the crisis hits, you might get a knock on the door, not to arrest you but to draft you. We need a surgeon at the Trade Center downtown. Get in the truck. If you refuse, you aren't just unpatriotic, you are violating a federal order during a state of war. You become a criminal. They will work you until you drop, pay you in ration credits, and keep you in a secure location for your own safety. Your survival skills actually make you a target for conscription. Water is the next immediate seizure. Not the water bottles in your basement, but the water in the pipes. In a grid-down scenario, water pressure fails quickly, but before it fails, it gets redirected. Municipal water supplies will be prioritized for hospitals and government centers. They will cut the mains to the suburbs to maintain pressure in critical zones. You turn on your tap and nothing comes out, not because the pump broke, but because a valve was turned 3 miles away. And if you have a well, under strict interpretation of emergency laws regarding strategic water resources, they can nationalize your water source if it's needed for the community. If you have the only working well in a neighborhood of 5,000 people, you don't own a well anymore. You own a community target. The government will seize it for the greater good, set up a guard post, and ration your water back to you. If you behave, communication is the resource they take that you won't even notice. Standard Operating Procedure 303. The Internet Kill Switch. The government has the ability to shut down cellular networks and internet traffic in specific geographic areas to prevent panic. In reality, this is to blind you. Intelligence is the most valuable survival resource. If you know where the riots are and where the troops are moving, you can survive. By killing the network, they take away your eyes and ears. You are trapped in a bubble of silence. You don't know that the evacuation route is blocked. Until you are stuck, you don't know the virus is airborne until your neighbor starts coughing. They seize the airwaves so that the only voice you hear is theirs. Now let's address the elephant in the room: guns. Will they take your guns? Historically, yes. But in a nationwide collapse, there are too many guns and not enough soldiers. They can't take them all, so they won't try. Instead, they will take the ammunition. Ammo manufacturing is a complex industrial process. The government can and will nationalize the ammunition factories immediately. All production goes to the military and police. The civilian supply dries up instantly. A gun without bullets is just a really expensive club. They don't need to kick down your door to take your AR-15. They just need to wait until you fire your last round. This isn't just theory, it is your future. If you don't prepare, the government is a machine that runs on your dependency. Starve the machine, feed your independence. If you want to survive the seizure, you need to be ahead of the curve. You need to be the ghost they cannot track. Subscribe to the channel. I will show you how to disappear before they even know you're gone. Do not be a statistic in their logbook. Stay hidden, stay dangerous. Victor out.